Hi, and welcome to this talk on adding a dynamic SAML authentication provider in Duende IdentityServer with AdminUI. My name is Kevin Jones from Rock Solid Knowledge. Now, typically, authentication providers are added through configuration, and that's configuration that we put into our code. However, Duende IdentityServer lets us add and load providers dynamically. We can set up dynamic providers that are loaded from a store without the need to redeploy the solution. In a previous talk, we covered how to do this using OIDC, and in this talk, we'll see how we can do this with SAML providers. Now, to do this, we have to add database configuration, and that can be tricky. However, AdminUI lets us configure and manage these dynamic providers, and it uses a guided wizard to do this. Now, to take advantage of this, you must be using the Enterprise Edition of Duende IdentityServer. In a previous video, I showed you how to do this with OIDC providers, and in this video, I'll show you how to do this with SAML providers. To do this in AdminUI, then you must be using AdminUI version 7 or later. Now, for this demonstration, we'll have 3 applications running, and it's important that we understand what these things do. So we'll have an instance of IdentityServer running, and essentially I'm using the Rock Solid Knowledge IdentityServer sample. If you want to grab the sample as is, you can get it from this GitHub location here. I've also created an MVC application using the AdminUI NuGet package, and that provides the AdminUI instance. And I'm also running a SAML IDP application. Now, this IDP application is using its own instance of IdentityServer, and in that case, it's an in-memory IdentityServer instance. And we're using the RSK SAML component to provide the SAML support. Now, this could be any SAML IDP, but just for this demo, I'm using IdentityServer and RSK's SAML implementation. And all the code for these 3 applications is on GitHub at this address. So essentially what we have is this. On the one side, we'll have our identity database, and we have 2 applications talking to that database. We have an instance of IdentityServer and an instance of AdminUI. On the other side, we have a SAML IDP with its own database. And that could be any SAML IDP. It's just that in this instance, we're using IdentityServer and the RSK SAML plugin to provide the IDP. So this is the code running the IDP, the SAML identity provider. Now, there are other talks on this channel on setting up an IDP. So if you want full details, you can see those videos. The important point here is that we've added a client with a client ID, and that client ID is the address of our client. And that's running on localhost port 5443. And then we've added a service provider, and that service provider has an entity ID, which in this case matches the client ID, and it has the address. And this is the address this IDP will call back into. Notice the start of this address is the same as the entity ID. And then we have /federation/RSK SAML/signin-SAML. The value RSK SAML is known as the scheme. And we'll see where we set this scheme in the dynamic provider in a moment. So with that configuration in place, I can run this IDP. So this is the code for the IdentityServer instance. And here I'm inside the startup CS file. And in here, we are using Rock Solid Knowledge's SAML component. And I have to configure that component to support dynamic providers. And I do that by calling add SAML dynamic provider on the services. And all I'm passing to this is my license information. So I can now run that. And then here I have the code for the AdminUI instance, and I can now run that. So with the AdminUI instance running, I can go to its homepage and I can log into AdminUI. And I've created a user here with the username of kevin@rocksolidknowledge.com. And entering my password, I log in. And notice here, we have an option to add Dynamic Authentication. And if I click on that and click on Add, we have two choices. We can either add an OIDC provider or a SAML provider. If I click on the SAML provider and start, this takes me through the wizard. For this, we enter a scheme, and this is the ID for this provider. And let's just call this RSK SAML. And then a display name. And this can be anything we want it to be. So again, let's just say RSK SAML. When we go next, it asks us for the entity ID. And this is the value we saw in the IDP configuration. And that's HTTPS localhost 5443. And notice beneath this, we have this callback path, which is /federation/RSK SAML/signin-SAML. And again, this corresponds to the value that we set in the IDP. And if we take a look at that, here in the IDP, we see the entity ID, which is localhost port 5443, and this callback address, which is /federation/RSK SAML/signin-SAML. And that matches these values here. We go next. Now, if we want to here, we can add a certificate to sign our requests. We're not doing that in this case. But if I go next, we then enter the IDP's metadata address. So this is the address my SP is going to use to get the metadata from the IDP. My IDP is running on localhost, port 5001. And for the RSK SAML component, the metadata address is /SAML/metadata. Now this may vary depending on the IDP that you're using. We can validate the metadata to make sure we're getting this back correctly. And sure enough, we get a message saying that we are. So everything is okay. We can click on Next. And then it asks me which sign-in scheme I'm using. So if we're using IdentityServer's default cookies, then we use the IdentityServer external login scheme. In this case, we're using ASP.NET identity cookies. So we're using the ASP identity external login scheme. So choosing that and going next, we can now check these values, and assuming they're all okay, we can save this provider. Okay, so what does this mean? So if I now log out from here, what I'm then going to do is clear the cookies from this window so that when I try and log back in, I log back in cleanly. So having done that, if I click on Login, it takes me to the login scheme. But notice we now have an external login, which is RSK SAML. So let me take this window out of full screen mode so we can see the address bar. So currently here for my login, I've gone to localhost port 5443. If I click on the RSK SAML login, that sends me across to my IDP. So I'm now running on port 5001. Now for the IDP here, we are using Duende IdentityServer. But remember, this could be any IDP. My IDP has a couple of in-memory accounts set up, and they are a user called Alice with a password of Alice and a user called Bob with a password of Bob. So if I type in Alice here, this will log me in to my IDP and send me back to the SP. Back in the SP, it tells me we have no user set up in the service provider side that's linked to the user from the IDP. So no linked user for external login. So here it wants me to log in as a user on my SP, and it will then link that user to the IDP. I only have one user here. So if I log in as kevin@rocksolidknowledge.com with my password and click on login, sure enough, I'm logged in as kevin@rocksolidknowledge.com, but this account is now linked to the Alice account in the IDP. So again, logging out here. If I log in again we see the external login, the RSK SAML. If I click on that, again, we've jumped over to the IDP, and I can now log in as Alice with the password of Alice. Click on login. It sends me back to the SP, to the service provider, and I'm now logged in. I don't need to create an account here. And if you notice, it's logged me in as kevin@rocksolidknowledge.com. So we've added a dynamic SAML provider into our service provider. So in this talk, we've seen how to use Rock Solid Knowledge's SAML component in the service provider to provide dynamic authentication. And we did this with Duende IdentityServer. Now to do this, we have to configure the component to support dynamic providers. Once we have that support configured in the service provider, we can use this against any IDP. In this demo, we used another instance of Duende IdentityServer, but any IDP would work. We said that configuring support for dynamic providers in Duende IdentityServer can be tricky, but we used AdminUI to do that. And we used AdminUI's guided wizard. And for this, we had to name the scheme, provide the entity ID. We could optionally provide a certificate. We specify the metadata address, and then we specify the sign-in scheme. Once that was all in place, we could then use single sign-on to log in. Thank you, and I hope you've enjoyed this talk.